Hi everyone, welcome back to Mouth on the Matter. If you're new here, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and let's get right into this. So if you are new here, the basic format of how I do this is that I talk about the plot, I talk about the characters, then my likes and my dislikes, then theory time, then I give it a rating, and then my final thoughts. So for today, I picked Code Adam, which I just recently heard about, and as I heard it, I went and read it. Um, and yeah, so the plot is basically about these, say, genetically made people. They're not really people because they were made for the purpose of war, so they have all these powers. And then there's like an original set, and then there's a set that came after them who were made by the cells of the original set. So the sets that came after them, they're not as powerful as the ones that came before. So what happened is that the ones that came before, the T2, I think that's what they call, um what happens with them is that they want to find a way to cure themselves, so they turn back to humans. They relinquish their powers because what's happening is that their body is deteriorating, because I don't think they, like I said, they're not strong. And then what they need is that they need every original, which I think there are about seven originals, no, nine originals. There are nine originals, and they need all of them to kind of make the cure. So they approached like two of the originals, and they're just trying to find every single one of the other originals. So yeah, so that's the plot. The characters, I'm just going to talk about Atlas because there are few characters who can be mistaken for what could be, who are close enough to be a main character. So I don't want to go deep into there, and I'll just stick with Atlas. So Atlas, he's one of the originals. He is he has the power of, I think, ice. He's very very strong, but he's also really really compassionate, and he's very, what's the word, he's very for the family, very for his family, very for this group of people who he loves them, and there's nothing after that. He will do anything for them. He's going to bat for them. He will do it. He doesn't want any harm to come to them. He'd rather sacrifice himself for and go through pain than to let them go through pain. He seems a bit of a lone, not a loner kind of guy, but he's very quiet. He has a very quiet mystery around him. And yeah, so that's the plot and characters. So time for my like section. Number one, I really like the art. I like the choices for some of the colors. I like that they have um gray hair, gray silverish hair. I like the color of their eyes. um so yeah, I like the art. The second one is that I like how it starts. It opens into like a lot of questions. I'm here like, who is this guy? Who are these people? What's going on here? And it also kind of like tells you about what kind of genre this thing is going towards, because it's very action filled, which is another thing that I like about it, the genre of it. I think I haven't really read much like action webtoons, at least in a while. I don't think I have. So like this was, when now that I'm deep in it, it's this was a welcome kind of refresher, you know. So the next thing, like I said, the gray hair, it makes too much sense. I very much like gray hair. I said it's my Edith webtoon about Edith. I love gray hair on characters. I just love it so much. It makes so much sense. Next thing is that I like that they have this whole found family kind of thing going on. Their siblings, I guess you could say they're siblings, not by, I don't know if it's by biology or by genealogy. I don't know. They're not made by the same, because I think they were, like I said, they're manufactured in a way. So they're not obviously coming from, oh, same dad, same something, but they could come from the same sort of cells. I don't know, but like I like the same, that whole found family. I care for you, you care for me, even though we're not exactly like a conventional orthodox family. So yeah, I like that whole togetherness. I love it. I love how close they are. The next thing is that I like how nice Atlas is, and I don't know why, but I expected him to be mean to his siblings, and I think it was that first episode that tripped me off. I'll talk about it later in my final thoughts section, but I expected him to be mean. Same with Nine. I expected him to be like some kind of douchey, kind of like mean, kind of older brother kind of thing, but he's really not. They're just both really really nice, lovable main characters. Um, Number, I don't know what number is, but I like the pacing. Pacing was actually really good. It kind of hit all the beats and what it needed to be at what time. Like it was actually really good. I enjoyed the pacing. There was not a time when I felt, oh, this is lagging, this I'm getting bored. There wasn't a single like plot moment that I also felt bored at or uninterested at. So that was very good. The next thing is that the fact that, spoiler alert, even though everything here is mostly kind of spoilers, but okay, I won't say the person who died, fine, I won't say the person who died, but like there's this character who dies and I was so happy when they died. Oh my gosh, so happy. Like it was amazing. You introduced us to someone that we're supposed to hate, this kind of villain like character who the readers, we are supposed to hate because they are genuinely just the worst. And then you know when creators or authors or even writers, they build this up so that it's like, oh my gosh, when you die or when someone beats your ass, it's going to be the best thing ever. Like when he died, it was what was needed it to be. It was great, it was fantastic. I loved it. I love that they didn't drag it out, that the guy wasn't a villain for a long time. I like how they, they got rid of him, so now we can face like the big guns kind of things going on. So yeah, the next one is that it can be really funny when it needs to be, while not kind of overthrowing the balance of what it is. You know what I mean? Like the tones aren't too disparate, if that makes sense. Like they, like it has some comedic tones. It can be funny when it needs to be, but like it also still has that kind of serious vibe as well. But it's not weird. It's not a weird kind of mix. The creator kind of mix it well enough that it feels organic. The next one is that the clothes that they wore outside, we love to see it. We love to see it. Nine and Atlas's clothes, they made too much sense. They kind of catered to their own kind of also personalities as well, and it was just so nice. And I love the colors as well that they picked for that. The next one also, so you see that I love clothes, but like when they got dressed up to go to that fancy like gala kind of thing, oh, I loved it so much. It reminded me of I can't remember which Fast and Furious it was because there's so many ones, but I think it was when they were in Dubai. It reminded me of that Fast and Furious one. Next one is that the fight scenes are actually rather cool. I love the fight scenes, and yeah, like I said, it was very refreshing to see them, because honestly, if you look at my track record, I don't think have I reviewed an action webtoon. I'm not sure. Maybe I have, but not in a while. Okay, Girls of the Wild was an action webtoon. But that was literally my first review. Can't remember. I cannot like. Do I? I don't really review. I don't really read and review action webtoons. So this was so nice because like the last one I did was what, Soul on Hold. Okay, was that actiony? It has some fighting, but I wouldn't say it's an action webtoon. The last one was Cursed Princess Club. Obviously not. So yeah. So the next one is that I like the way each family member was introduced, both in the originals and as well the T2 series as well was really nice. The next one is that Atlas has the kindest nature. He is, even with the people who aim to want to fight, even with his family members, because not all the originals, not all of them. The conflict here is that not all the family members, not all the original members, they're not the way he left them. They're not all kind and nice. Some of them wanted to kill him in this first season, and it's probably going to continue into the next season, and we haven't even met all of them yet. So like, but because he has this sense of family and it's so ingrained into him, he literally cannot see it within himself to like leave them harmed, even though they want to kill him. Next one is that which is the last one, he had such an amazing entrance. There was this scene where he had such a great entrance, and it was amazing. I'll put it up here. It was like when he came after Nine to like kind of fight what's his name, Dos, when he came to fight Dos, and it was just a great scene. It was just a great scene, such a great entrance. We loved it. Okay, so the next, so that was my like section. So on to my dislike section. So the first one is that I was kind of confused as to why the lab was practicing on these kids still. Um, like if there's no war to practice for, like if you're knee deep in war, I sort of understand why they would still be practicing on them, sort of still wearing them down. Because what's happening is that some of these horrors, they're all called horrors by the way, all of them, the originals, the ones that come after them, all of them are called horrors. So like I'm just wondering why they're still practicing on them and why they would wear them down to the point that some of them even die. Because like, number one, wouldn't it cost a lot of money? Like even if you are morally bankrupt and you don't care about what happens to them, like isn't it costing a lot of money? And it's like, but there's nothing for them to be fighting for. You're just breeding these people and you're making them go through hoops, and it's like, okay, but what's it for? What's the point though? So I don't know, that kind of thing. Just like, it's not, is it financially sustainable? Like, why are you doing it? Why are you still doing it if there's nothing for you to, I don't know, that whole thing. I just kind of like, like, why? What is the reason? Why are you still doing it? The next one is that it gets a bit confusing. Like the webtoon as a whole, it gets a bit confusing, and sometimes I have to scroll back to sort of understand what happened here and sort of be like, what did I miss? I have to go back sometimes to understand what just happened. And then the last one, the person who died, the person who got killed, that I was happy that got killed, his reasoning for being so like horrible and cruel to the horrors, like it just it it just felt a bit weak. Like the reasoning, it just felt a bit weak. Like, okay, they're inhuman, like the horrors, they're inhuman. He calls them inhuman, he calls them beasts, and I'm like, okay, but duh, like this seems like a bit of a you problem. This, like, you knew what you were coming into when you applied for this job, when you're getting the checks for this job, when you're getting your, you know, like when you're paying your salary to into your bills and everything. Like, I'm here, like, but you knew what you were getting into. You know what I mean? You came to work at a place where this is happening, and you're acting like you, I don't even know. It blows my mind. It actually blows my mind. Like, what's going on? Like, get another job. Get another job. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I would think the people who came here to like, I would think the people who came to like work at this lab would have some sort of interest, at least in these horrors. You know what I mean? Have an interest in them, and you know, would at least, if you're not treating them with respect or treating them like actual humans, I would think, okay, the most you can do, I would think like the most that it would be is like treating them like sort of zoo animals in a way, like treating them with mild fascination, but not in a way that is in par to how you would treat an actual human being. But where's the cruelty coming from? You know what I mean? Like, change your job, change your job. No one's holding a gun to your head and saying, unless of course maybe you signed a disclosure form and once you're in, you're in. But like, still, like, you knew what you're getting into when you came in. Like, it just I don't know. So that's my dislike section. So on to theory time. So I sort of feel like Sita, one of the originals, I sort of feel like maybe she killed her old manager, but it was by mistake. I think that's what happened. It was by mistake, and she feels really bad about it, and it wasn't supposed to happen. But yeah, I sort of feel that's what went on, because yeah, there's something went on there. So that's my theory time. And I kind of want to say that the Mad Doctor. I want to stake a claim. I want to stake a claim about the other siblings. I want to stake a claim. The vigilante, is he going to be good or bad? I want to say the vigilante is going to be good to them, more receptive. And I want to say the doctor is going to be a bit more eccentric than cruel, if that makes sense. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. So that's my theories. Ratings, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Final thoughts. At the end of every episode, like, I knew something greater was going to be happening. Like, consistently, the ante was just brought up gradually. It was great. I loved it. I completely enjoyed it. I finished it all in one morning. The episodes are long. The episodes themselves, like, each episode was long. But yeah, I enjoyed this. Season 2 is coming soon. I actually really liked how they sort of, and I don't know if it was intentional, if it was the creator's intention to do it, but I sort of felt like something was subverted for me. Like I said, I thought that Atlas was going to be mean, and that was just because the first episode we saw him like killing these guards in somewhere, and then he was talking back to like home base and the person who's like in charge of the lab, and she was like, she obviously manipulated him into wanting to do it by himself. She was like, oh, if you're tired, I can always call the others. And for some reason, the way I interpreted it was that I thought he was jealous of the others, like he didn't want them to steal his shine. And then later on, I found out that, oh no, I got that wrong. No, he just trying to protect them and trying, not to like let them go and shoulder the burden of what he's doing. Like his siblings have no idea what he was doing, Siblings like, yeah. So I don't know. So I don't know if that was the creator's intention or if that's just what, if I'm just confused, which maybe I am. But yeah. So that's Code Adam. Very good read. I completely recommend it. Thank you for the person who recommended it to me. Thank you so much. I completely enjoyed it. And yeah, so that's it. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to comment anything you want to comment. Be like, hey Titi, completely validated what I've been saying this entire time. Or no Titi, you're completely wrong. Who let you think you can do this? And yeah, go watch my playlist because I have quite a few playlists out. I have Webtoon reviews, Webtoon recommendations, problematic faves, character assassinations, and yeah. So yeah, anyway.